The wind whispers through the trees, a cool caress against the weathered wooden walls of the cabin. You pull your jacket closer around your shoulders as you sit in the dim light flickering from the old lantern on the table. The shadows seem to stretch, reaching for you, as the dying embers in the fireplace glow softly, casting long silhouettes that dance across the rough-hewn walls. It's just you, the cabin, and the quiet murmur of the night outside. You came here seeking solitude, a respite from the chaos of everyday life. The cabin, nestled deep within the woods, was the perfect escape. No distractions, no people, just you and nature. You were drawn by the promise of peace, the isolation, the chance to unwind and discover a piece of yourself that felt lost in the frenetic pace of the world. But here, in the solitude, something stirs under the surface, a disquiet that seems to hum in the silence. Days drift like fog, the hours melding into one another as you explore the area surrounding the cabin. You've hiked along the narrow trails, breathing in the scent of pine and damp earth, the serene beauty of your surroundings wrapping itself around you like a comforting shroud. The sun filters through the canopy, dappling the forest floor with light, and for the most part, you feel at ease. But as night falls, a subtle shift occurs. Shadows grow longer, and the gentle rustling of leaves carries an unsettling rhythm that makes your heart race. You try to dismiss it as imagination, telling yourself it's merely the sounds of the forest. But there's an undercurrent, a hint of something watching, waiting just beyond the reach of your lantern's glow. On one particularly crisp evening, a chill runs down your spine as you sit by the fireplace, the flames crackling softly. You decide to explore the small storage closet tucked away in the corner of the cabin. You've avoided it thus far, the door creaking ominously as you pull it open. The scent of musty wood and something faintly sour fills the air, and your breath hitches in your throat. Inside, you find old blankets and dusty tools, forgotten relics of a life that once thrived here. But in the back, obscured by a torn-up tarp, you notice a curious wooden box. It's ornate, intricately carved, and out of place among the mundane items surrounding it. Intrigued, you pull it free, the wood warm beneath your touch, its surface smooth yet unnervingly cold. You set it on the table, a flicker of excitement tinged with unease racing through you. What could be inside? You attempt to open it, but the latch is stubborn, almost resistant. Frustrated, you push a bit harder, and with a reluctant creak, the box yields. It opens to reveal faded photographs scattered haphazardly across the velvet lining. You kick yourself for not realizing sooner that this might not be a simple collection. Each photograph captures a different scene. Families laughing, children playing, the cabin standing proudly in the background as the seasons shift. But as you sift through the images, a creeping horror takes root in your chest. The faces in the photos, something about their smiles seems unnatural, almost frozen in time, their eyes too wide, too knowing. You flip through them, and each face looks back at you with an intensity that makes your heart race. You set the photos aside and delve deeper into the box, pulling out a small journal, its leather cover cracked from age. Faded ink fills the pages, some writing barely legible. The earliest entries speak of the joy of living in the cabin, the beauty of the surrounding wilderness, the warmth of community gatherings. But slowly, the tone shifts, turning darker. Descriptions of unsettling dreams haunt the later pages. They watch from the woods. One entry reads, "I can feel them. I can hear their whispers at night." A cold shiver runs through you. You glance out the cabin window into the darkened forest, the trees standing tall, indifferent witnesses to your unease. There's a gnawing feeling that you're not entirely alone here. Perhaps it's just an echo of those old fears, the kind that stay with you after reading something sinister. But you can't shake the sensation that the woods hold secrets, dark ones. You descend into restless nights, the unease settling like a heavy fog in your mind. Strange sounds fill the silence, twigs snapping, the rustle of leaves, a soft humming that ebbs and flows like the tide. Each noise seeps into your thoughts, stirring fragments of worry. You try to tell yourself it's the forest settling into night, but the rhythmic hum pulls at you, dragging you into its depths, unraveling your reason. One evening, after a particularly unsettling day spent reliving the entries in the journal, you venture outside, driven by an urge you can't quite define. The air is thick with anticipation, and underfoot, the ground feels spongy, as if it's alive, pulsing in time with your heart. You wander deeper into the trees, perhaps searching for answers, perhaps looking for reassurance that all is well. The woods seem to close in as shadows elongate, and an oppressive silence drapes over you, making each breath feel labored. You stop, aware that the further you go, the more alien the landscape becomes. The trees twist unnaturally, their bark gnarled and dark, scars running deep along their trunks. It feels wrong, as if the forest is mocking you with its beauty, and you turn to head back, but an echoing laughter ripples through the air, drawing you in. You realize the laughter is impossibly close, behind you, somewhere in the shadows, but when you spin around, there's nothing, just that ever-watchful silence. As you turn back, breath quickening, a figure appears in your peripheral vision. It stands motionless among the trees, a dark silhouette against the fading light. Your heart races, colliding with your ribs. You stumble back toward the cabin, each step driven by panic. The air thrums with something ineffable, a kind of energy twisting around like tendrils, dragging you down until you burst into the safety of the cabin, slamming the door behind you. That night, sleep evades you completely. You huddle by the fireplace, but the warmth feels foreign, an empty mockery of comfort. You keep the lantern burning, its flickering yellow light a fragile shield against the encroaching darkness outside. Every shift of the wind, every crackle of wood, feels amplified in the silence, weaving a tapestry of dread. Days meld into an endless loop. The line between wakefulness and the dark dreams that invade your night starts to blur. You're taunted by glimpses of the figure in the woods. Its presence becomes a constant, an intrusion that fills your mind with paranoia. Yet you can't leave. A compulsion draws you back to the journal, to the box in the closet. Perhaps it holds more answers, more truths you need to unravel. You read further, the words becoming a muddled chant in your head. We are never alone here, one entry declares. They come to us, not as phantoms, but as friends. They watch our joys but feed upon our fears. A shiver unsettles your core as you piece together the stories. Each person who lived in this cabin seemed to have encountered something unnameable, something that thrived on isolation. One night, while thumbing through the pages again, a loose sheet slips from the journal and floats to the floor, revealing an illustration drawn in frantic strokes. It's a sketch of the cabin, but on the periphery, twisted figures loom, their faces stark against the moonlit darkness. You can't breathe as you trace the lines with your finger, a twisting validation of the fears that had burrowed deep within you. That night, in the depths of despair, unable to shake the lurking dread, you revisit the storage closet, your hands trembling with uncertainty. The box lies there, an alluring mystery waiting to be unraveled. You give in to the instinct that has been haunting you, feeling led back by some unseen puppeteer. You open it once more and sift through the familiar contents. But something is different this time. The photographs seem to shift under your gaze, the faces almost alive as if they were fighting to break free. You ignore the gnawing urge to look away and allow your fingers to dance over them, drawn almost against your will. The more you focus, the less reality feels stable. The faces twist, their expressions morphing from glee to something sinister, their eyes narrowing with a malevolent intelligence. In a haze, you continue to thumb through the journal, and amid the fray of misplaced entries, something new catches your eye, a final entry written in an erratic hand. It will come for you. It knows your name, your fears. Once you've felt its gaze, you are bound to it. You feel sick with impending dread, a sense of finality pressing against your chest as you understand the sheer weight of those words. The wind howls outside, a mournful cry echoing through the trees, thumping against the shovel-like frame of the cabin as if it's trying to break in. It's not merely the past that remains entwined with this place. The shadows are alive, and they have fed on despair and isolation. Driven by an urge you can't understand, you stagger outside into the night, the lantern swinging wildly in your grasp. The forest beckons with a siren's song, the laughter echoing through the trees, coaxing you deeper into the darkness. Every step feels heavy, yet the darkness lifts like a shroud, revealing a broken path that writhes like a serpent. You tread cautiously, tightening your grip on the light as the laughter turns melodic, hypnotic. Then, as you reach the heart of the wood, time unravels. The air is thick with something ancient, a pulse that resonates through the ground beneath your feet. The shadows twist into shapes, and you see them, figures emerging from the darkness, faces painted with the joy of your nightmares, their eyes wide. They are the lost souls who once occupied the cabin, their spirits bound to the forest. They smile, murmuring your name, whispering promises of peace and understanding while shadows wrap around your limbs like tendrils, pulling you ever closer. You scream, but no sound emerges. You are breathless, dizzy as terror takes hold, drowning you in an ocean of despair. You're pulled into their midst, and amidst the swirling dark, you recognize the faces from the photographs, a cruel mockery of warmth and safety. They reach for you, fingers soft against your skin, and you catch a glimpse of your reflection in their eyes. Fear, surrender, but beyond that, a dark understanding, a kind of acceptance. Then, you remember, the journal warned you. It warned all of them. Those who succumbed to the isolation were never truly alone. They became part of the forest, nursed by shadows and whispered lullabies. As the darkness coalesces, wrapping around you like a comforting shroud, you feel your heartbeat in tune with the figures surrounding you. You are no longer an outsider. You have joined their ranks. The world beyond the trees fades, and the realization sinks in that this is home now. Just as you prepare to embrace this strange new existence, the lantern flickers out, plunging the woods into suffocating darkness. The laughter rings out once more, but it doesn't feel mocking anymore. No, it's joyous, echoing through the trees. You, too, begin to laugh, lost in the echoes of the forest, with its shadows wrapping tighter and tighter around your newfound solace. In those depths of dark, you realize the unsettling truth. This story will never truly end, for you are now a part of it, woven into the fabric of the night itself.